The Amish mom accused of drowning her 4-year-old child in a lake as a religious offering appeared in court wearing a jumpsuit and shackles.
I gave him to God.
You gave him to God?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
I threw him in the lake and I gave him to God. And people are going to tell me I am crazy, but he is real and he loves you. He really does love you.
This is the shocking and chilling body camera video just released by law enforcement in Ohio. Not only did Ruth Miller allegedly kill her 4-year-old son, her husband also died in connection to the religious exercises this family was allegedly doing.
We entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity today because based upon the facts of this case, it's very evident that it is fitting.
This is video per WKYC. Now Miller's attorneys are speaking and pushing back, saying she's not guilty by reason of insanity and she's, quote, devastated by what happened. We're on the case, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Ruth Miller may be a member of Amish society, and she may have been overcome by appealing to a higher power on that day by a lake in rural Ohio. But in the eyes of the law, Ruth Miller is an alleged child killer. This is video of Miller in a courtroom in Tuscarawas County, Ohio. She seemed subdued during this hearing compared to how she acted in the body camera video that I'll show you in just a moment. She nodded to the judge. She said that she understood the charges against her. Now, before I get to what happened in court, what it means for Miller, and what her attorneys are saying about her not guilty by reason of insanity plea, let's set the stage for you and go back to when all of this happened on August 23rd. Law enforcement said they got a 911 call about a woman driving a golf cart with 3 other people on board into a lake. This is a picture from the local sheriff's office of that golf cart in the water. When deputies first confronted Miller as she was walking up from the shore, they started to realize this was not an alleged accident.
I gave him to God.
You gave him to God?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
I threw him in the lake and I gave him to God. And people are going to tell me I am crazy, but he is real and he loves you. He really does love you. He loves you. And I doubted him. I doubted him so many times, but I am to tell you he is coming soon. He is coming very soon. Prepare your hearts. The end is close. And I'm for sure supposed to tell you that he does love you. Okay?
Ma'am, can you explain to me what happened? Who'd you throw in the water?
I gave my son to God.
Your son?
Yes.
Where's your husband?
He went for a walk this morning.
And you haven't seen him since?
He didn't ever come back. And we went to the boat and his clothes were there. And God told me he's in the lake and a fish swallowed him. And you're actually supposed to go look for him in the bottom of the lake. And you will find the fish. And you will find my husband. And then you will believe. But ye of little faith that did not believe before seeing.
Okay.
So send people down to the bottom of the lake looking for a fish that has my husband.
How old's your son that's in the lake?
4. He's sweet. I love him. I gave him to God.
Okay. 7940 Central. We're out with the mother. She is advising that she threw her 4-year-old son in the lake to give him to God.
From the point of view of the deputies in this video, they see her twin 18-year-olds by her side, but she kept talking about her son, her 4-year-old son, and he was nowhere to be found. And that is when deputies realized that this situation was far more dire than first thought.
They are there. husband and I both doubted him, and pain came back to me.
I need to know where your husband's at.
He's at the bottom of the lake in a fish.
He's in a fish.
Yes.
There's no fish large enough on an Atwood to swallow your husband.
He's at the bottom of the lake in a fish.
Okay.
I thought your husband went for a walk.
Yeah, and then we came to the boat, and his clothes were laying on the boat.
Okay.
Tan
Yeah.
pants and cream shirt and flip-flops.
Do you have a cell phone?
It's in the camper.
It's in the camper. Where's your camper at?
I think it's,
Area 3?
I think so. Yeah. It's like a tannish camper.
It's a tannish camper. You don't know what lot number it is?
No.
Well, we really need to verify your husband's still
Where?
with us.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Well, he's actually just go out in the bottom of the lake.
Well, I can't go in the bottom of the lake. So
Do you
we
have
need
scuba divers?
Yeah, we're gonna have to call divers in to go to the
Okay.
bottom of the lake.
Please do.
And you're saying
Get the best ones there are, because this
So-
is a miracle from God, and you will see. You will see.
you're saying your 4-year-old son's down there too?
He's with God.
Where's his body at?
I don't know.
Where did you throw him in the water at?
Off of the dock at the causeway.
Where the bike was today?
Where the boat was?
Yeah, where the boat is.
Okay.
Please believe me.
We gotta
I
get
know.
back to your name check.
When there's supposed to be ones coming out there?
I think there was one.
Does
standing
anybody
by.
have a glass of water?
We can get you water.
Please.
What's
Thank you.
We're right now we're gonna walk up to the squad, okay? That's what
Okay.
we're going to do. We're gonna put you in the back of the squad.
You will find my husband.
Okay, but you're gonna sit down in the back of the squad for us, okay?
Can I actually just sit with my children? Yeah. And have water?
Yeah, we can bring your children over.
I would love a glass of water.
Let's go up in this spot over
Well,
here.
my children are here.
We'll bring them over
bring 'em
in a
over.
minute. Let me go check you out. Yeah, we're gonna get it. Kyle went to go get you one.
You guys send a dive team over that way then?
Miller's husband was also missing. I'll talk about him in just a moment. He dies in this story as well. The story that eventually comes together about what happened, according to law enforcement, is that the Miller family went to this lake in rural Ohio for vacation, and they ended up doing some sort of religious exercise down by the water. Here's what the sheriff said in a news conference per WEWS.
Sometime just after 8 a.m., and this statement from both her children and other independent witnesses, she is seen loading up the 4-year-old on a golf cart near their RV and taking off very erratically. Everybody that will comment or any witness that you encounter that saw her driving will tell you she was driving very dangerously. She flipped the cart at one time. She was seen on 2 wheels another time. Of course, she was praying by the kayak. And she left. The children saw her leave with the 4-year-old. And then a while later, she came back. She states that she went to the dock and that she threw the 4-year-old in because that's what she needed to do as an offering to God.
Deputies believe that this mom, Ruth Miller, took her 4-year-old son and drowned him in the lake earlier in the day, then drove the golf cart again hours later with her older kids on board as religious offerings.
7940 Central. The mother is advising that her boat is located if you just want to log at the Causeway Center dock, and that's where she threw the child in the water. She's also now saying that the husband's in the water. If you just want to log that and notify the dive team, the Rangers are heading over that way right now.
Gotta go somewhere where it's not too hard on my knee.
So your knee won't hurt you. Please trust me.
Okay.
It won't hurt you.
Okay.
It won't hurt you. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. God, please show this woman that it is true what I'm telling you. People are doubting. It is getting harder for me to stay strong. Please show her that it is true what I'm telling you. That there is a fish in the bottom of the lake. My husband. Please let her take me to sit with my children under the tree that you have created. Please, Lord.
Okay, let's go.
You guys want to bring her over to that one?
Yeah, we'll take over
Okay,
that one.
so we can be closer to the rest of everybody else.
Paris, have a seat right here. We'll go get your children as soon as they're done.
No, I want to go
Right here.
What are the kids saying now?
I don't know if they've asked them if there's a little brother and dad or not. I don't know if they have.
Okay.
That's it. At this point.
The miracles are true. And these two we doubted too, but they are true. They are. And it's amazing. I can't tell you enough. Do you remember when Jesus was on the cross?
Yeah, I remember.
And he put his arms out and he said, "Forgive them, for they know not
Yeah,
what
you
they
told
do."
me that already.
Yes. They didn't know. They didn't know.
I get it. Right.
You are to trust. It's all about trust. It's hard because he does things in mysterious ways.
Sure.
And it's hard because we want to just believe our earthly ways. It is hard. Is part of you happy? Man, is part of you happy? Yes!
Go ahead.
Hours after that, a dive team found that 4-year-old boy. He wasn't far from the dock that they say Miller threw him from. He was at the bottom of the lake. As for Miller's husband, deputies believe he was disappointed in himself for how he handled whatever religious tasks this family was doing down by the water, and he then went for a walk. But when he returned to the lake, he decided to go for a swim and tried to swim out to a sandbar, and that is where authorities say he drowned. His body was found the next day. The sheriff said he did not die in a rescue mission for his son. He was swimming as part of this religious exercise.
I gave him to God.
You gave him to God.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
I threw him in the lake and I gave him to God. And people are going to tell me I am crazy, but he is real and he loves you. He really does love you.
Now you see how Miller is acting on scene in this body camera video. She's praying with first responders, talking to them about God. She is aware about what just happened. You remember her saying, "Do you have divers to go down and get my son who is at the bottom of the lake?" She is very different though when we saw her in court this week for her arraignment. Ruth Miller didn't say much other than "Yes, Your Honor" when she was asked whether she understood the charges that she was facing. She nodded along with the judge as he explained how a grand jury came back with an indictment against her. That grand jury indicted Miller on 7 charges. She faces counts of aggravated murder and murder for the death of her 4-year-old. She's also charged with felonious assault in connection to the 4-year-old's death, and she's also facing a count of child endangering for allegedly driving that golf cart into the water with her 15-year-old daughter on board. On top of that, she's facing 3 more counts of domestic violence for allegedly driving the golf cart with the 15-year-old and the twin 18-year-olds on board. Miller's attorney spoke after her arraignment. She's still being held without bond and said they are now pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. This is per WKYC TV.
Well, I don't think that this is an issue of a whodunit. I think everyone recognizes the fact that that she did do it, but that's just one part of it. That's the act. The big question in this case is the why it was done, and that's what this whole case is going to be about, is the why. How did this happen?
I know you cannot say everything she said, but has she shared with you her feelings about what happened on the 23rd?
Well, you know, she's obviously devastated by what occurred. This is not something by any stretch of the imagination where we could think that someone would wake up and destroy not just their life but the life of their child. I mean, something is wrong, and that's what we're getting to the bottom of now. But obviously she's devastated with what's happened. She is, her family is, everyone is.
Now let's go in the courtroom and show you how Miller's arraignment played out.
You're here today because the Tuscarawas County Grand Jury met and concluded that they should return an indictment against you. Now, an indictment is a charging document that comes about after the grand jury meets with the prosecutor, hears evidence from the prosecution's standpoint, and concludes that there is at least probable cause to charge someone with a felony crime. It's a right that all Ohioans have. And in this case, and essentially think of them as like a check on the government. They got to make sure that there is at least probable cause before someone has to answer to a felony crime. Ms. Miller, in this case, the grand jury returned an indictment that consists of 7 counts. I'm going to read through those. Count 1 of the indictment is the offense of aggravated murder. It is what's called an unclassified felony in violation of Revised Code Section 2903.01C and 2929.02A of the Revised Code. It provides here that on or about August the 23rd of 2025, here in Tuscarawas County, that the grand jury found that there was probable cause to believe that Ruth R. Miller did purposefully cause the death of a child victim designated as child victim 1, who was under the age of 13 years of age at the time of the commission of the offense. And they go on to specify that the birth date for the child is October the 12th of 2020. Count 2, murder. It's also an unclassified felony under 2903.02B, 2903.02D, and 2929.02B of the code sections in which they cite. The grand jury again concluded that there was probable cause to believe that you, the defendant in this matter, on or about August the 23rd of 2025, unlawfully did cause the death of child victim 1 as a proximate result of the offender committing or attempting to commit an offense of violence that is a felony of the first or second degree, known as felonious assault under 2903.11A1 of the Revised Code. Count 3. It's an offense known as felonious assault. It's a felony of the second degree under 2903.11A1, 2903.11D1A. Again, the grand jury concluded that there was probable cause to believe that you, the defendant, on or about August the 23rd of 2025, unlawfully did knowingly cause serious physical harm to child victim 1. Count 4. It's an offense known as endangering children. It's a misdemeanor of the first degree under Revised Code Section 2919.22A E2A of the Revised Code. Each grand jury concluded that the defendant, on or about August the 23rd of 2025, unlawfully was a parent, guardian, custodian, person having custody or control, a person in loco parentis, of a child under 18 years of age who did create a substantial risk to the health or safety of the child victim, in this case is designated child victim 2, by violating a duty of care, protection, or support. Count 5, domestic violence, a misdemeanor of the first degree under 2919.25A D2 of the Revised Code. It says here that on or about August the 23rd of 2025, that you unlawfully did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to child victim 2, a family or household member. Count 6, domestic violence, a misdemeanor of the first degree under 2919.25A D2. Again, the grand jury concluded that you, the defendant, on or about August the 23rd of 2025, unlawfully did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to victim 3, a family or household member. Count 7, domestic violence, a misdemeanor of the first degree under 2919.25A D2. Again, the relevant date, August the 23rd of 2025. Grand jury concluded that there was probable cause to believe that he unlawfully did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to child victim 4, a family or household member. Those are all of the counts of the indictment, Ms. Miller. I have the original indictment in front of me. A copy of this indictment should have been provided to you at least 24 hours in advance of this hearing. Did you in fact receive a copy of this indictment 24 hours in advance of this hearing? Okay. Ms. Miller, from this point on, I'm going to be directing my attention to your attorneys. I believe Attorney Friedman?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
My question to you then is, does there need to be any further reading of the indictment, the penalty sections that apply, the statutes under which your client has been charged, the various constitutional and statutory privileges that apply, as well as possible pleas?
There does not need to be a reading.
Thank you. Then those will be indicated as waived. I'm also aware, Ms. Miller, that your attorneys earlier had filed on your behalf, as required by law, if someone intends to do this, a notice of the defendant's plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. I'm going to turn to Attorney Friedman just to confirm that's in fact the plea that should be entered in this case.
That is in fact the plea that we are entering by right at this time.
Okay. And that's what will be done. I will enter a plea then on your behalf of not guilty by reason of insanity. And the next issue that we would typically be addressing at this time is the issue of bail. I always hear from the state first. I will certainly allow your attorneys to be heard on that issue, but I always start with the state, and after I hear from the state, I'll hear from your counsel. Brian.
Thank you, Your Honor. This morning we did file a motion to deny bail under Revised Code 2937-222, and we would ask that that be set for an evidentiary hearing. Further in that filing, we moved for a no contact order with regard to the surviving victims here. That was imposed at the municipal court. We would ask that that be imposed until further considered at the evidentiary hearing.
Attorney Friedman, do you wish to be heard?
I do. Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I am in receipt of the motion to deny bail and motion for no contact order. I would also concur that a evidentiary hearing need to be heard. I would ask by defense motion that that hearing be continued so that we have adequate time to prepare for it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. You may be seated. Ms. Miller, by law, that based upon the request that's been made by the state, I'm going to hold you in the Tuscarawas County Jail without bail. I typically would have to have a hearing within 3 days, but your attorneys made it clear to me beforehand that they intend to challenge that motion, that they need some time to prepare for it. I intend to give them that time to do that, so I'm not going to set it within those 3 days based upon your attorney's request, but at the conclusion of this hearing, I'm going to coordinate with your attorneys with the state of Ohio to make sure that they have the adequate amount of time that they need to secure witnesses to be here at that hearing. So we're going to take care of that, but we're going to make sure that we set it as soon as possibly can. So I am going to have you remanded back to the jail where you will be held. I'm going to have the hearing, and then I'll make a decision as to whether or not I agree with the state or I agree with your counsel and set what I believe to be, what I believe is the appropriate decision. The state of Ohio's request is, I believe, certainly a reasonable one to not have contact with those surviving victims in this matter. As I'm not setting any bail at this point in time, I guess I'm going to turn to your attorneys. Do you foresee any objection to having her wanting to have contact with them until we are able to actually have bail set?
No, I think that that should be made part of the evidentiary hearing as well. So I think that issue should be held in abeyance until we have that hearing.
Brian, your thoughts on the matter? As I'm not setting any bail at this point other than no bail.
I think it would be prudent at this point, and I would urge the court to implement immediately a no contact order with regard to the children. She does have phone privileges at the jail, and so there is some potential for contact, and I think that needs to be prohibited.
Let me just ask you, Brian, is there some other avenue other than usually as a term of a bail, I would say you can't have contact with the victim because I'm not setting any bail. Is there some other avenue from which this could be addressed?
Your Honor,
protection order that we...
I think anytime you are putting on an entry as it relates to bail, I think anytime you do that, you have the inherent authority to set restrictions. If the court were to impose immediately a no contact order, either directly or indirectly with her children, and if we were later to learn that there was an infraction in that regard, we could bring that to the attention of the court, and the jail could take corrective measures.
Okay. Let's do this. Ms. Miller, I think you probably can gather this is not something the state wants you to do, is to have contact with any alleged victim. I'm going to take the matter under advisement. I want to double check a couple of things on that point. But as of right now, you're going to be remanded back to the jail where you will be held until we have the essentially what we call a no bail hearing. And from there, I'll be able to set forth specific orders as to what the bail is or isn't going to be in this case. Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
From the defense counsel?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And from there, I will issue in writing what is taking place here today. It's going to be shared with your attorneys, Ms. Miller. They can then share it with you.
I don't think that's an issue. Discuss it.
Yeah, let's talk. You talk about. I think I know what you're asking, and we can address it after here. If there's nothing further, then the arraignment is concluded, and I have to bring it back to jail.
Miller is next expected to be in court September 25th for a bond hearing. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law and Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.